Got Clear Mask take 2 here. I'm going to take her out and see how she handles today.
Before we get to the movie, a few years ago, we talked about bad titles. You mentioned Ballistic, X versus Severson, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
These are all titles of bad movies. Now, great movies have titles like A Clockwork Orange, or Doctor Strangelove, or How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love the Bomb. These are great titles because the movies are great. If Doctor Strangelove sucked, that title would be a punchline. I think that titles are only as good as movies. The titles that I really hate are the titles that are entirely forgettable. P.S. I Love You is a movie.
Sure.
If you saw a movie called P.S. I Love You, do you think you'd remember that movie?
No, probably not.
Yeah. If you saw a movie called Warzone. If you saw a movie called Situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another example, but I can't.
You can't think of them because they're all lame and forgettable and star Gerard Butler.
Right.
While you remember the name 300, because that was a pretty amazing movie. And if 300 sucked, people would say, what, was 299 taken?
I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good, it might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement.
Over the years, I've continued to evaluate your qualities as a co-host.
I thought my annual review was coming up, so here we go.
I think I can conclude that you've got pretty fairly high marks all around.
Good.
But there's one area where you fall short. Because I, sir, am a gentleman. And as we know, gentlemen prefer blondes.
Ah, hello, ladies.
Released in 1953, GPB stars Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe. It was directed by Howard Hawks. The screenplay was written by Joseph Fields and basement alum Anita Luce, based on her novel of the same name. The songs were written by Jewel Stein and Leo Robin from the Broadway show of the same name, with additional music composed specifically for the film by Hoagy Carmichael and Harold Adamson. Hoagy Carmichael, who had the silliest name in the music industry until the mid-60s when he was dethroned by the young upstart Engelbert Humperdinck.
I knew he'd say that one.
Even though they shared top billing, Jane Russell, the bigger star, earned a salary of $200,000, while Monroe was paid the standard contract rate of $500 per week.
What?
Despite this pay gap, the two actresses got along famously, with Russell being one of the few people on set who could coax Monroe out of her trailer to begin the day's shooting. Gentlemen prefer blondes. Okay, let's just accept that as the case. But what snack food do gentlemen prefer? I think that gentlemen prefer donuts!
Oh, finally! Something to sit on the couch.
They prefer donuts!
Look at that!
Well, I hope your ass enjoys that donut.
My ass will be all in this pillow.
One donut a man eats. Well, why don't you form a chorus line and over to the old leather couch where we are going to be singing our hearts out silently while we watch Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Unless we sing out loud. We do that sometimes.
And they do it in musicals.
These two charming women had bad things happen to them in Arkansas.
Then someone broke my heart in Little Rock.
Damn you, Kennedy, you broke her heart in Little Rock.
That's Lorelei Lee and Dorothy Shaw.
Dorothy and Lorelei are a couple of cabaret singers.
Didn't you notice? His pocket was bulging.
Yeah, that could be a bag of gumdrops.
Or it could be some world-class D.
Good evening, Mr. Esmond. Won't you pray come in?
Thank you, I'd love to.
Please excuse my pocket bulge.
That's her fiancé.
Why isn't his tie spinning?
Dorothy, guess what?
Chicken butt.
He's not rich, but his father is. And Lorelei's main philosophy in life is that if you're gonna get married, it's gotta be to a rich guy.
And I'm not coming back from Europe until he comes and gets me.
Not to come back from Europe, even if you come and get him.
The marriage is happening in Cherbourg, France.
Dorothy comes along for the ride as a chaperone.
The brunette's her friend, Dorothy Shaw. Never mind about her. We don't care what she does.
We prefer the blonde. Unfortunately, Gus can't accompany them. Beep. Hey! He gives her a letter of credit that will allow her to spend money in France.
Sorry, wrong room.
Sorry, red rum.
Who is that?
A stranger, he had the wrong room.
Is he one of those Albert Camus strangers? Also on the boat is the entire American male Olympic team. She invites the entire squad to come to the stateroom.
Gangway, pardon me. Who needs a glass?
No one says that anymore. Gangway! Please don't do anything that someone might see and start talking about, because my father doesn't want me to marry you.
Even the slightest hint of any scandal. Even the slightest.
No scandal. No Patty Smythe. No goodbye to you. Now, we haven't left Doc yet. No, we still have time for goodbyes.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby.
This sounds like a fun song, but it's actually the most popular song down at the orphanage.
What sort of crazy sound effects will occur if they ever actually have sex?
The Andrea Doria continues on her date with Destiny.
I'm checking the passenger list. Mr. Alfred Lohman and valet.
Mr. Willie Lohman, deceased, salesman.
Lorelai doesn't understand why her friend would be interested in a bunch of penniless Olympians.
Did you ever hear of a rich pole vaulter?
I've heard of a rich Russian vaulter.
Sure, they have the nice bodies, but they don't have the diamonds.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's 5! 5 is the next number.
Dorothy goes off into the boat and asks the age-old question.
Ain't there anyone here for love? I'm apathetic and non-athletic.
She's one of those people who says, "Oh, is it sports ball season?" Slap, 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 slap.
We meet Ernie Malone. He's a unassuming man, and I'm sure we'll find out more about him later in the story. That's not great. Anyone here for love? In the bar, Dorothy meets
Sir Francis Beekman.
otherwise known as Piggy. Note the weird necktie. It's not an ascot, it's an ass-cant. He owns a bunch of diamond mines in South Africa.
Are you interested in diamonds?
No, not particularly.
Diamonds are a passing acquaintance at best. Don't tell Lorelai about the diamond mines or she's gonna go gaga for diamonds.
Did somebody say diamonds?
Delighted.
And she starts getting up close and cozy with Piggy. Malone sees Dorothy, he buys her a drink, and they talk.
This 2-year-old will never run again. Boat attendant. He's worth 30 or 40,000.
Oh, no, you're not one of those, are you?
Who buys children on the black market? Piggy is married to Mrs. Piggy. Miss Piggy. Mwah!
Talk about a buzzkill. Going for that Eleanor Roosevelt look.
And succeeding. She's not amused, but she shows off her diamond tiara nonetheless.
And Lorelai wants that tiara.
It goes on your head. You must think I was born yesterday.
No, that's Judy Holliday. Totally different movie. Totally different blonde.
The ladies go and have dinner with the hoity-toits on upper decks.
Now, please try to make a good impression.
Lorelai has been combing the passenger list looking for potential rich men. I'm not sure why she's doing that. She's already engaged.
The one she's really excited to see is Mr. Spofford.
Turns out he's a little kid.
I expected you to be much older.
Are you my gangy? Actually, Piggy's nickname is from childhood when he was shipwrecked on an island with a bunch of other boys. He just barely escaped being crushed by a boulder.
Meanwhile, on the same boat,
Dorothy sees Mr. Malone poking his camera into Sir Beekman's porthole.
You'll never be lonesome again. Now you leave it to Piggy.
You'll also have all the roast beef you'll ever want, because I'm that Piggy.
I better pop off. Well, toodaloo.
Damn you. That Mr. Malone must be a detective.
Boy, will I tell that stinker off when we get those pictures back.
stinker. You never use that term anymore.
Gangway, stinker! Lorelai goes to Malone's stateroom. She searches around, she can't find the pictures.
By the way, where's Lorelai tonight?
Ransacking your room. Oh, damn it. I wasn't supposed to say that. The steward locks her in, so she's got to climb up through a porthole. That little kid, Mr. Spofford, comes by.
Quick, hold this around your neck tight.
Piggy comes along and has a conversation with Lorelai and her blanket.
Let me feel your pulse.
No, please do.
There's no cause for alarm, my dear.
Your hands are tiny and they smell like fudge. Malone must have the film on his person.
If we can't empty his pockets between us, we're not worthy of the name woman.
Woman's more of a title than a name, but...
Yeah, it's not a proper noun, it's just a noun. This fall, I'll be teaching grammar for chorus girls at my local tech college. So let's invite him to our place, and we're going to get him drunk. We might also be drugging him, I'm not positive.
That's quite a cocktail.
Why does my drink smell like burnt almonds? They give him a ridiculously alcoholic drink. They take off his jacket. Film's not in there.
So they need the pants.
Here, have some water. All over your pants. They pants him, and they find the film in the pocket. Lorelai has the film developed, and she shows the pictures to Piggy.
An embrace. He's impersonating a boa constrictor.
But it looks like they're getting it on.
Are you sure, my dear, there's no more of these things about?
Positive, Piggy.
Positive Piggy is a children's book that I've been working on off and on for a few years. It's about a pig that gives TED Talks.
You must let me do something for you to show my gratitude.
Why don't you give me that diamond tiara?
Wouldn't you rather have some furs or a racehorse or a motorboat?
A waterboard?
Motorboat.
Oh.
I can provide that for you right now, and we don't have to leave the stateroom.
He agrees. I'm not sure of the particulars of this. It's strange. But now Lorelai has the diamond tiara that she covets. Who would want a tiara? You can't do anything with it. You can't wear it. Unless you're visiting the Queen. And then, even then you can't do it because she's going to be wearing a tiara.
Malone is exposed as a spy.
Checking up on people is messy work sometimes.
Messy like a watered down pants. Finally, they dock in France. When they get to the hotel...
Show me a place to take my shoes off. My feet are killing me.
I've got to go up to my hotel room and make fists with my toes. Mrs. Beekman is there.
Mrs. Piggy, if you will.
I know you have my tiara. This is my lawyer. We're going to sue you because you stole it from me. And the hotel manager informs her that Mr. Esmond found out about all this. He's canceled the reservation and the bill of credit. And you're not getting married.
Dorothy, if you need any help, I'm at the Alizé Hotel.
The Alizé Hotel, that's where all the rappers hang out. Sipping that Alizé and that yak.
When love goes
Oh, yeah, it's a musical.
I forgot this was a musical.
this one thing I know.
The Pythagorean Theorem. And everyone sings along with him.
At Chez Louis, les chanteuses américaines are about to go on stage.
How can I trust you after all Father's found out about you?
All Father? You mean Odin? Ladies and gentlemen, Madonna! Lorelai takes the stage and sings a song that you're familiar with.
A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
And also continental.
A kiss may be grand,
but so's a piano.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
If diamonds are a girl's best friend, and dog is man's best friend, then David Bowie's Diamond Dogs
is mankind's best friend.
Everybody's a winner.
They get off stage and the police are about to show up.
Give him the tiara. Let's end all this. But the tiara's been stolen. Meanwhile, Malone runs into Beekman. When you see Lorelai, tell her that I'm sorry I did what I had to do. I wonder what he did. I bet it's tiara related.
Off to night court.
Un terme par un châtiment.
J'accuse! Dorothy goes to the trial, posing as Lorelai. This has to be a felony. During the trial, she busts out into the
Diamonds are a girl's best friend
number. In the courtroom. Instead of contempt of court, I'm charging you with delight of court.
Now, young lady.
Oh, she's giving him the ague.
You and your ague.
On the stand, she basically tells Malone that she loves him and he refuses to testify because he loves her too. And Malone knows where that tiara is. Come with me, gendarme. This trial is as irregular as French verbs. They go collect Sir Beekman, they bring him back, they produce the tiara, and everything is fine.
Case dismissed.
Case magnifique.
Lorelai and Gus have made amends. They're going to get married again. Oh, wait, but who's this?
Hello, Father.
Hello, son.
Hello, tramp.
I've wanted to see you married for a long time. Anybody but that monster, Lorelei Lee.
What?
Mr. Esmond, I am Lorelei Lee.
What?
You want my son's money. To which she has this snappy reply.
I want to marry him for your money.
There.
Well, at least we're getting down to brass tacks.
Oh, and you have brass tacks, too?
Brass is a girl's second best friend.
I'm a woman, and I want to be rich. Wouldn't you want that for your daughter? Now let's all get married! On a boat!
The marriage was beautiful. Unfortunately, it took place on the Mary Celeste, so by the time they docked, everyone had disappeared. Gentlemen don't just prefer blondes. They prefer Dorothy, too.
Sorry, Dorothy. You're not the best friend.
I've switched back to the see-through mask, still testing it out. And we have watched Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Yes, we have.
I was delighted.
It is a delightful movie.
I was thinking about the Gold Digger movie.
Mm-hmm.
These have been around ever since movies began. There's a woman who's after a man for his money.
Yes.
How does this evolve that type of story, or does it evolve that type of story?
Lorelei Lee just keeps coming out and saying, the money. We have to get the money.
That might be what makes it unique, is that she's just so upfront about it. There's no deception whatsoever in it.
No.
And that, when you think of a gold digger, you think of this sort of deceitful person who's preying on this rich man.
The digging aspect of it indicates some sort of subterfuge. When I was a teenager, I had a huge Marilyn Monroe fixation. Posters and everything.
You know, Jane Russell is really beautiful, but there's something about her face. There's something cruel about her face.
It's a very sharp feature. She's almost masculinely featured. She's a handsome woman. It doesn't really come out until she puts the blonde wig on, which makes her look like a bit of a drag queen.
Yeah, she looks a lot better as a brunette. Marilyn Monroe, she's one of the most iconic actresses of all time. I know almost nothing about her. I don't know how she learned acting.
She studied the method.
Okay.
Famously.
She's great at comedy in this, because
Yes.
she's so unadorned. She just delivers the lines and lets the script do the work.
Yeah.
And that's really a smart way to do it.
My wife's grandmother, when she was a kid back in the 1930s, hung out at this lake resort with this young woman named Norma Jean. She swears it was Marilyn Monroe.
Wow. Unknowingly, we had another basement alum in this movie. He played the judge in the courtroom scene. That was Marcel Dalio, who we previously saw in Catch-22.
He's probably most famous in the States for running the roulette table at Rick's Cafe in Casablanca.
Okay.
He's very notable because he escaped France when the Germans took over. He's Jewish, and the Germans, when they would put up their propaganda posters against Jews, they would put Marcel Dalio's face on it. So he was the face of Judaism in Vichy France.
So this was a weird musical. It's very... The musical numbers are so unevenly spaced.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them.
We've got 3 right away at the beginning in the first 20 minutes, and then nothing for a good 30, 40 minutes. Okay, Howard Hawks.
Yes.
I know you know a lot about the man.
Do you know what they say about the fox and the hedgehog? A fox can do many things, while a hedgehog can do one thing very well.
Yes.
And there are fox and hedgehog directors. Hedgehog director would be Woody Allen, while a fox director would be Howard Hawks, because he was all over the place. He was great in everything. He did a screwball comedy. It was the best screwball comedy. He did Red River, or one of the other great westerns. His gangster movie was Scarface. I think this is the only Jane Russell movie I've ever seen, and I had only known her for basically being the need to invent the cantilever bra.
She was in that Howard Hughes bra movie, wasn't she?
She was the reason for the bra. So I never thought that she'd be a good actress. And I'm very pleased to see her in this movie. She plugs along just great. She earns her $200,000. Granted, Marilyn Monroe probably deserved $300,000 for this movie.
You know, I've had not the greatest week this week.
Yeah?
And today, I was so looking forward to watching this movie.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it all day long. I'm glad that we got a chance to do it.
Yeah, did it pay off?
Yeah.
A little bright platinum blonde ray of sunshine?
I'm switching masks like magic. We've just watched Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and thanks for watching it with us. And now we'll thank you to join us over in Seen It.
Seen It.
Tonight's theme for Seen It is musicals.
Crazy Kung Fu Girl writes, Muppet Treasure Island was fantastic. Seen it.
I saw it with my friends Mike Essercon, who you know, and his then-girlfriend Peggy, who was a special needs teacher. I think we had a few drinks beforehand.
Yes.
We were just laughing our heads off. The next day, Peggy ran into one of her friends, and they said, "We saw you at the movie last night. We didn't get a chance to say hello. There was someone with you that was laughing really loudly. Was he one of your students?"
when you're going into a Muppet version of a popular story, you think, oh, who's going to be playing who? And the captain of the ship, well, that can only be Sam the Eagle. And then Kermit turns out to be the captain of the ship, and it's like, how is this guy going to play that role? They made a new character for Sam the Eagle, and then they split the captain's character, so that the great leader is Kermit the Frog, while the kind of...
By the book
guy is Sam the Eagle.
E. Alexandra. We didn't officially hear if Matt has seen the new Hairspray, but if you can, you should watch it. It may be the movie I've watched the most times in my life. Seen it.
Not seen it yet.
They got a great Tracy. Corny Collins is the role James Marsden was born to play. Ditto Zac Efron for Link.
Mm-hmm.
They bring back Jerry Stiller to play Mr. Pinky. It's fun to watch. Travolta plays Mom. Now, he's okay. He's decided to adopt a thick Baltimore accent, which is odd because no one else does that, so it's weird. But, he's fine. I was really enjoying this movie, and then I got to the middle of it, and I just got kind of bored. It became number after number after number, and the numbers stopped really driving the plot. The Turnblatts have a song together. Penny and Seaweed have a song together, and they're character-driven, they're not plot-driven. The enthusiasm I felt at the beginning kind of fizzled away.
Tim Lemire. Because United Artists didn't care what director Richard Lester did, he was free to innovate and help make A Hard Day's Night what it was. Sometimes zero expectations and indifference to the final product allows the right creative people to flourish. Yes, seen it.
This movie is a crucial puzzle piece in the Beatles' domination of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And really the universe, because there's no other worlds out there with the Beatles on them.
Yes.
Musically, this is the peak of the early Beatles. This is the perfection of what the Beatles could do before they became something else. Then you have the middle period of the Beatles, which is through Revolver, and then Sgt. Pepper to the end. So basically, early Beatles, they're perfecting the Beatles. Mid-period Beatles, they're reinventing the Beatles. And late-period Beatles, they're reinventing pop music. There's my little essay on the Beatles. Now, Hard Day's Night, also, we get to meet these guys as people.
The scene where, I forget if it's John or George, run into someone and the person thinks they recognize him.
That's John.
Yeah, that's John. And it's such a real moment.
Oh, it's you. You're him, aren't you?
I went to a block party nearly 20 years ago. They showed this in the street. Yeah. And there was like 30 people just sitting there, all of us singing along in the street. It was one of the most beautiful movie-going experiences I ever had.
Nick Hun. What are your opinions on the meaning of life? Personally, my favorite Monty Python film. Seen it.
Seen it.
Every time I think about the meaning of life, I think, yeah, it's okay. It's like John Cleese said, it's a bit of a cock-up. But then when I think of each individual scene in the meaning of life, it's brilliant. Every Sperm is Sacred is the best thing they ever did. From the moment that baby slips out of Terry Jones's vagina until when the Chinese dragon shows up, that number is perfect.
I think that Monty Python's greatest moment is actually the sex education scene. Yeah. Definitely Cleese's best acting performance ever.
See, I totally forgot about that. I didn't think about that at all until you brought it up. But when I would watch the movie, I'd be like, oh, it has this too. Yes, it's got a lot of great lines. I'm sorry, I did not know she was a racist. Well, my preference is for you to go and visit our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. It has all of our episodes there, all 202 of them. And there are PayPal donation buttons you can click on to donate to help support this show. We certainly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Donors such as Justin, who says, keep up videos watching from Ireland. Be well. And Cassie, I've been watching Welcome to the Basement on and off for years now, but I've been catching up with any recent episodes I've missed during quarantine. I'm also an actual adult with a job now, so I can send over money. Back payments for years' worth of entertainment. Sending love from London, England.
Oh.
I also want to tell you about a really cool thing that Tom and Chris Frank did. After our 200th episode came out, they made a 200-episode supercut of a clip from every episode. I don't know how they did this so quickly. They must have been working on it for a while, or they're just that quick. I was so delighted. Tone and I sat down and we just watched it, and such a great gift to the show.
There were moments in it where I'm like, oh, I forgot we did that movie. And if that happened to us, it'll happen to you too.
Take a look at the description of this video. You can click on a link to go and look at that video. To find out who the rest of our donors are and to see the contents of our mail crate, you can watch Unboxing, which comes out this coming Friday.
Yes, it does.
Blondes, brunettes, other hair colors, all are welcome here in the basement. We want to thank you for joining us. And now you can watch this.
Gus is dead? Gus is dead? Why would I write that?
I don't know, he's not dead.
Oh, Gus's deal. I don't even know what Gus's deal is. What is his deal?
Chair's dismissed.